Welcome back, Outdoor Eaters. I am honored to have you today. I can't wait to share with you today's recipe, because the crazier is the project, the better it will taste. So let's dig into today's recipe. The idea is to cook a whole leg of deer in an underground oven, and we will use that meat to make a delicious sandwich. And for that we're going to need some bread. Let's keep it simple, and we all know that there is nothing better than flatbread, so let's make some. The dough will need a couple of hours to rise, so let's get back to our pit. We want to keep trapped as much heat as possible, and that's why we will put some rocks inside, so that they will get nice and hot and they will help us to control the temperature. The next step is to start the fire, so for that we're going to take some burning coals, throw them inside of the pit, and just like so, we've got ourselves some firepower. Before we start cooking, we're going to need a lot of heat and a lot of burning coals, so that's why I'm going to keep the fire going for at least an hour. So now it's time to get our meat ready. So here I have a stunning leg of deer, and first of all I'm going to massage it with some seed oil. Then I will add some salt, and last but not least, a special blend of herbs and spices that I made specifically for venison. And remember, that's a big piece of meat, so it really needs a generous amount of seasoning. Then let's wrap the leg in some aluminum foil, and I will also stick a thermometer in the meat. And that's because I am using this cooking technique for the first time, and I have no idea for how long I will have to leave the meat underground. Now we can place the leg in the pit. Then let's add some burning hot coals and cover the whole thing up with some sand or dirt. Now that the oven is set, let's get back to that thermometer. The plan is to keep the meat in there until the internal temperature is going to reach 95 degrees Celsius. So for the sauce, we're going to need 2 liters of red wine, blueberries, raspberries, 50 grams of sugar and 100 milliliters of red wine vinegar. Combine all of the ingredients into a pot, bring it to boil, then reduce the sauce until it's going to have a nice and thick consistency. So the purpose of this sauce is to bring our sandwich to the next level, and that's why we're going to add also a few leaves of mint and lemon verbena, and leave them in there so that they can infuse their flavor to the sauce. About 2 hours later the dough has risen and it's finally ready, so let's take a piece of it and transform it in some delicious flatbread. Work the dough with your fingers, make it nice and flat, and then transfer it to a preheated cast iron grill. Now be careful, because the whole baking process is going to be extremely fast and is going to last less than 2 minutes. So when the bread will look like this, it means that it's ready. We have the meat, we have the sauce, we have the bread, we're just missing the salad. And for that we're going to start by cutting some celeriac into a julienne shape. Then we're going to do the same with a juicy Granny Smith apple. The vegetable cuts are extremely important, because the thinner are going to be, the better the flavors will blend. And right after the apple, let's cut also some radicchio. We're done with the vegetables, and now we can add a tablespoon of mustard, a generous amount of Kaimak cheese. If you don't have it, you can use Philadelphia cheese instead, olive oil, soy sauce, balsamic vinegar and salt. And now let's combine the ingredients until we're going to end up with a creamy consistency. After a while, the leg of deer finally reached the internal temperature of 95 degrees Celsius, and it was finally ready. And at that point we all just couldn't wait to see the end result. The heat that was coming out of the pit was still very strong. At this point my biggest fear was that we were going to eat some sand, but thankfully the aluminum foil didn't break. So after 7 long hours of waiting, it was finally time to unwrap the meat. I was just a little bit disappointed about the sear, because it barely had any, so next time I will sear it before wrapping it. But the smell was just amazing. The cooking technique really trapped the spices, and they gave this amazing aroma to the meat. But I was very glad to see that the meat was cooked to perfection, because it shredded very nicely and the bone was clean. So guys, we got everything that we need, now we just need to make the sandwich. So let's take some of that super creamy and extra crunchy salad, then let's add the meat, and let's not be shy, we're going to be very generous with it. And let's not forget about the sauce. This stuff is powerful, so 2 spoons is going to be more than enough. And there you have it, my venison sandwich. The taste is very lovely, the meat is just so flavorful, the salad brings some crunchiness and is very creamy. The sauce tops things off with some sweet and sour, and that hint of lemon verbena makes everything very fresh. My dear friends, that will be it, and as always, thanks for watching.